Okay, so I only have 5 slides today because it's one of those mixed review days, and I'm just gonna, there's nothing new they wanted us to teach you, so I'm just gonna go over a couple of questions that you can expect. First thing I wanna say is Skyla emailed me about the day 9 work, and I think that there is a mistake here. I think that this should have been something different because it doesn't come out to nice rounded fractions or integers. Have you guys tried this one yet for the day 9?
Yeah. I couldn't
Yeah.
do it.
This one is funky. So when I went back, what do you, I can't read it from there. When I went back and looked, I said, you know what, I bet that number was wrong. So for anybody who's watching this video, here's your best hint ever. Go back and try it with a 4 instead of a 2. Okay? If you put a 4 in that spot, one of the answers will be a fraction and one will be an integer, and it works out so much nicer. Now, for everybody who doesn't see this video and struggles with this problem, they can still submit decimals.
It worked fine with the 2 for me.
It did it? Because I graphed them both, and they were decimal answers.
Yeah, well, I went through the problem and it worked well for, well, I plugged it back into the first one, not the second.
Okay. I had to use the quadratic formula, and it was a mess because it did not factor box well. Anyways, whatever you guys do on this problem, I'm going to forgive because I don't think they gave you the right equations. I think they were wrong. Okay, so for review day 10, you have a warm-up ticket and an exit ticket, and I know there's a mistake on the warm-up, so I'll show you the mistake on that, and I'm asking everybody to fix it, but they're probably not going to watch this video and not fix it, so they're going to struggle. You have another common assessment, and it's in Mastery Connect, and I believe it is 15 questions, so that's 15 points. And the one thing I wanted to mention is a lot of you guys are turning in the warm-ups and exit tickets, and those are 5 points, but these Mastery Connects are like 3 of those, 3 of the whole day. So if people miss these, I don't know if I want to go back and keep opening these up. Let me show you what I have to check. I have to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Desmoses, all of the different submittals, the Mastery Connects, the quizzes, and for people who are just getting on board saying, can you please reopen all that? That is a ton of stuff to go through for 100 and some kids. Every time people want me to update the grade book, and the Desmoses don't tell me that they've done it. So if I've checked the Desmos once, I don't tend to go back and keep checking it for all 5 classes just to see if some stragglers caught up. So a lot of people are waiting till past the deadline, and they're not getting their grades updated because they're not paying attention. Okay. So please, all work is due Sunday at midnight. Everything for this week, the Monday, Tuesday, and the Wednesday, Thursday work is always due at midnight. And then I just wanted to let you guys know, because I don't think very many of you understand what's going on my end, but I am getting an overwhelming number of students who are coming late to the party and want me to be nice to them and take all of their late submittals. Number one, my fundamental issue with this is when you start submitting everything on the same day, I wonder who you copied from, because it's too much work to sit down and do by yourself in one day. So for me, that says I'm rewarding your lateness by allowing you to copy. So I'm getting to the point where I don't want to take anything from days 1 through 4 anymore, because day 4 was due back in April, and we're already halfway through May. So if you haven't done 1 through 4, please don't try and surprise me with days 1 through 4, because they're cut off. You are done. So days 1 and 2 won't hurt you if you didn't do them because they were not part of the alternative learning plan, but days 3 and 4 will hurt you if you didn't do them, and I'm not taking them at this point because too many of you decided to ignore all of these classes, all of these notes that I've posted, all these videos, and pretend you didn't know their school, and now you want me to get everything back. So you can pick up from day 5 and on, and that is it.
I normally just do my work on like Sunday or Saturday. Generally, it's like my thing.
Say it again, Lee.
Normally, I just do all my math work on Sunday. That's all I do on Sunday, is just math. So I just like doing it like that.
Do my week's assignments take like the whole day for you, or is it just a few hours? Like, how much time are you spending?
Just a couple of hours.
Okay. All right. But
Just the whole day. It's like, I'd say like half the day I spend doing is that.
Well, if you think about it, if we were still in school, you would meet me 3 hours to 4.5 hours every week, depending on whether it was a green week or a white week. So we would sit down together for at least 4.5 hours, and we're not doing that. We're meeting for like 20 minutes at most online. And then you have 5 problems of warm up and exit ticket and a Desmos activity. So honestly, I think you can, I think you guys can definitely do some some catching up. And I honestly think that too many people decided that this should be a cakewalk. And if they only need to copy something for 5 minutes, then they'll submit it. But if they have to work on it, they're not doing it. And I don't sense that they're getting anything out of it.
It's not even a lot of work. It's like 6 questions, like all together.
Well, plus the Desmos, plus the quizzes. So there's, I know more.
The Desmos is normally kind of easy, and the quizzes isn't that hard.
Right, and you don't have to write down the work for Desmos. Some of you are writing it down and you're taking copious notes. I'm not checking your notes for Desmos. I'm only checking the final product that you did it. And if it's wrong, like there's some of you who are submitting things that are just grouped things. They click a bunch of stuff together and say, here it is, and it's all red on my side, so I see you didn't do it right at all. Then I decide to give partial credit because it looks like some people are trying to throw it together last minute. But if you're partially right or mostly right, I'll give you full credit. All right, so let me go back to the top because I'm going to edit out all this. So we're doing review day 10. It's a mixed review. It includes all of the days 3 through 9. You have a warm-up that's 2 questions, an exit ticket that's 2 questions, and one of the questions on the exit ticket is immediately answerable, and you'll see what I mean. And then you have a common assessment, a 15-question common assessment. Everything is due Sunday by midnight, and a lot of you guys wait till I put a 0 in the grade book, and I talked to Riley Owen from my G2 class, and he said, you should put a 0 in as soon as you post the assignment so everybody knows it's going to be due, because half of you won't even post anything until you see you got a 0 on an assignment, and then it occurs to you, oh, wait, that was due, wasn't it? All right, and again, the overwhelming number of students submitting late are making it so that I'm not taking days 1 through 4 at this point. You guys are done, okay? And then the other days I will give partial credit on for those of you who wait too late. Okay, so let's get through these. This is what your 15-question common assessment 2 looks like. The first question says simplify, and it's going to be one of these, okay? Did I ever show you, you guys could do these in Desmos, where if you put this in Desmos, and then each of these in Desmos, one of these 4 will lay on top of this?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's what I would do. I wouldn't even bother to sit there and factor and work it out because I want you to get the points, and that's what I would tell you if this were an SOL test. So put this in Desmos and this in Desmos.
I use Desmos for like everything though. It's easy.
Not for the exit ticket and warm up though, Lee. I need you.
Yeah, that one I have been doing work for. I've been actually doing it on paper now instead of on the.
Right, and that's absolutely perfectly correct. So you can do all these Mastery Connects in Desmos. This one is more of a, which one can be simplified to a single term. So you have 2 terms here. The question is, can I add a square root to a cubed root? Or can I simplify that cubed root? And if you can and combine them as one term, then you would circle that. But if they're uncombinable, and remember we said indexes have to be the same to combine, then you would say, nope, not that one. So now this one, indexes and radicans both have to be the same, but I know 20 can be simplified using a factor tree. So don't just say, well, 20x and 5x are different. So no, they can't. Try and simplify the 20x to see if you can add it to the 5x radical. Okay, so this one has multiple correct. See how it says select all? You will get this wrong if you take the first answer that you get and circle it and move on. All right, that's just the 2 of the 15. I'm not going to go over all of them. Okay, one of the questions is a property question, and I just wanted to put this chart up again so you could look at it when you're doing the Mastery Connect. You might want to have a, I don't know, you might have to open a cell phone to look at it, but know your properties because there's a property question, which I wish they had thrown out. I just wanted to remind you of what an additive inverse and a conjugate is. An additive inverse is the number you add to a complex number to get 0. So if I was trying to get this to 0, I would have to add a -3 and add a positive 9i. The conjugate is what you would multiply to this number to get rid of the I term or the square root term. Remember, some were square roots. So the conjugate of 3 minus 9i is 3 plus 9i. Notice the 3 doesn't change, but the I term does. And the conjugate of -15 minus 7i is -15 plus 7i. And then if it's a square root, it would be 10 plus square root of 2. Notice I'm not changing the real sign. So there is a conjugate question on the exit ticket, and it should take you seconds to answer. Okay, last slide. Remember to show work, and I'm telling you what I think you should do on the work. You're welcome to do it another way, but Desmos is never allowed on these warm-ups and exit tickets. So the first one, there's a 2x minus 1. Please change that to a +1. I don't think they typed that right because it would come out to integers if that was positive. It comes out to weird, funky decimals if it's negative. So when you download your warm-up, fix that before you answer it. I will know how many people are watching the video because those who didn't watch it will have 2x minus 1. Or those who are copying from others will have 2x minus 1. But anyways, this one, you have to show me how you solved all 3 radicals. So I know it's going to be a bear. Please do not say, I just plugged in 3 to see if they balance. I'm not going to accept that. Actually solve this one, and this one by doing what I've shown you how to do in radical equations. This one, I want you to show the absolute value work. Okay, here's a huge hint. There are 2 of these solutions that are the exact same. One of those will be the right one. So if you can get me the absolute value equation that works and solve that one first, you don't have to solve the others. Hint, hint. Okay, I'm practically giving away the answer here. And then this one says, well, think, what does a conjugate look like? So when you have a number that is a solution, remember the conjugate of that number also has to be a solution, because the quadratic formula says we have the plus and the minus of that. So this one is super easy. You can do it like that without showing any work. Okay, so you have the mixed review, warm up, the mixed review exit ticket. Those are these 2. That's only 4 points. And then you have the common assessment, and that is in Mastery Connect. And as soon as I upload this video, I will post your Mastery Connect code. So it will be up and running in the next 10 minutes. Any questions? Where'd Jessie go? I'm looking at her lovely face. Oh, there she is.
Seems easy.
It is a very easy day. The Mastery Connect is probably going to take you the most time, but I'm giving you permission to use decimals. All right, so I will see you guys next week, I guess, right? All right, we're done.